Hello and welcome to Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. We are your hosts, Vidas Pinkevičius
and Ausra and I.
We've been mastering secrets of organ playing for more than 20 years and sharing them on this blog since 2011.
On this show, which we create from our home in Vilnius, Lithuania, we strive to help you grow in every area of organ playing, including practice, technique, repertoire, sight reading, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory, harmony, and many others.
Our hope is to help you become a complete musician, or what we call as total organist, a program which we have created to help you reach your dreams faster than you would do on your own.
If you are new here, we invite you to subscribe to receive free updates of this blog at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video how to master any organ composition and 10-day organ playing mini course.
And now let's go to the podcast for today. Hi guys, this is Vidas.
And Ausra.
Let's start episode 260 of Secrets of Organ Playing podcast. And today Ausra and I are going to talk a little bit about our recent trip to London to play at St. Paul's Cathedral. Are you feeling rested yet, Ausra?
Well, yes. I feel better now.
Yes, it was a strenuous trip. So, what do you think about it? What's the first idea that comes to mind?
About London, or about organ, or about St. Paul's Cathedral?
Both, all of it.
Well, I didn't like London.
You didn't?
Yes, I did not.
So that's your main idea about...
Yes, comparing to Paris, it's nothing to compare actually. I just think London has many beauties, but in terms of the whole feeling of the city, everything seems so eclectic that those nice buildings seems lost for me in all of that modern eclectic style.
How did you like the weather?
Well, it went to extremes because on the day that we arrived, temperature reached almost, I think, 36 degrees plus Celsius. That's extremely hot.
And that day, on Friday, we spent about 6 hours on the bus, Golden Tour bus, driving through London on the roof of that bus. And luckily we had some water to drink, but not enough, so we had to jump off the bus and buy some water. And there were some traffic jams all over the city, and we were moving very, very slowly. It was good for taking pictures, of course, but not as good for the tour, I think.
I know. So for me, it seemed like London is a strange place. On one hand, British try to preserve the traditions so strongly, to keep their queen and the royal family and Buckingham Palace, but on the other hand, we built the glass skyscrapers next to the historical buildings. So this is sort of an interesting way of living. Don't you think so?
I guess you have to get used to that landscape of the city. Once you get used to it, it doesn't bother probably people.
Well, but let's talk about St. Paul's Cathedral a little bit. It's a marvelous building. It's really amazing.
It's just too bad that people can't look at it from the I don't know, maybe 200 meters distance to cover it all, because tall buildings are quite near to the cathedral, and there is not much space to look at it from the distance. Sure, you could look at the cathedral from the other side of the river, from
Yes,
Thames,
I think that's the best way
but
to
it's a little bit too far,
I know.
right? And then you want to have the full feeling of the building closer up. So I think we found a shady place to sit on the bench on the corner of the cathedral, and it wasn't that hot in the shade, so that was nice. What did you think about the inside of the cathedral when we went to practice later in the evening?
Well, it's amazing. It's an amazing building. It's enormous size, enormous height, and I don't think I have been in a place so magnificent before.
What about Notre Dame in Paris?
Well, you get completely different feeling because Notre Dame, it's a Gothic building.
And darker.
Yes, and completely different structure, and it gets completely different feeling.
Mm-hmm.
But like in Paris, I felt like like I am at home actually. Although I don't know French, although it was all my first time in Paris, but I felt like home. Everything seemed so familiar, and talking about Notre Dame, when we went there to the Vespers, I felt like I was attending Vespers there every night. Sort of everything was so familiar.
We went to listen to Evensong just before the concert on Sunday to St. Paul's Cathedral, and comparing to Notre Dame, I didn't enjoy it as much. Did you?
Me too, yes.
Although the musical tradition is great, there amazing cathedral choir was visiting
from Seattle.
For Seattle for the weekend, and they performed even songs on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. High quality music, high quality singing, but somehow the feeling was different from Paris, don't you think?
Oh yes, very much different. I enjoyed when Gregorian chanted the Notre Dame Cathedral much more, and I think at Notre Dame, Vespers were shorter than Evensong here in London. And I found some, very funny things actually, because, for example, when choir sang Magnificat,
mm-hmm.
and it was actually well developed, composition by an original composer, but people had to stand up and listen to it, and it was a long composition, and I found it really strange.
I don't know why they do this. Maybe it's part of the liturgy somehow. Right?
I know Magnificat is part of the liturgy, but it wasn't just a Magnificat. It was an original composition, well developed and very long. Not like original Magnificat from the liturgy should be.
Apart from these things, do you think that for example, the organ at St. Paul's was worth the trouble going there?
Yes, it was worth trouble going there, but let's face it, I prefer mechanical action, tracker action. And this is not what I like best.
You have to know what kind of music sounds best. But I was surprised, actually, how nicely Bach sounded there, how nicely Mozart and Beethoven sounded there. Let's talk a little bit about the program that we played, right?
Well, if I would go over, second time, which I think I will not do, but I would choose the program differently. I didn't like so much our selection of music, except maybe of your fantasy, based on the film of Čiurlionis.
For me, the program was very nice. You look what people said to us and how they reacted. How many people came to the recital, do you think?
I would say 300, maybe.
Yeah, so nice crowd. And those people who came up to us afterwards were, I think, particularly happy. And we talked about that, about the program, about their experience, and interestingly, we met, I think, two people from the readers of this blog, right?
Yes.
Secrets of Organ Playing, Brian and Mike, who came to this recital. It was really surprising and nice moment.
True, very nice.
To meet our fans in person.
And there were also some Lithuanians who came after recital. That was especially nice. At least for me. Almost made me cry.
Because, there are probably tens of thousands of Lithuanians living in England, and they emigrate from Lithuania for a variety of reasons, for lack of decent job opportunities, for lack of respect for the person they don't feel at home, and you have to understand that somehow those people get lonely without their country, right? Sure, they have the community, but it sometimes, especially on festivities, on solemn occasions, they might get lonely. And when they see somebody from their country visiting, let's say, England, they get really emotional.
True, and it really touches your soul.
Although my music wasn't particularly Lithuanian, it was Fantasia on the themes by Čiurlionis, but Čiurlionis, of course, created his preludes differently. I just took the themes and mixed them up, used the different rhythmical ideas from them, changed the modes frequently. I don't think it was particularly Lithuanian character what I did with this Fantasia, but for them it was Lithuanian enough, because it was on the program, Čiurlionis, Lithuania, and they got really sensitive about their feelings, and one person even, I guess, had some tears on his face.
Yes.
Ausra, you don't think that this program worked well for this organ?
Well, I think it worked okay. That's my opinion.
And I was quite happy, actually, how Mozart, Beethoven, and Bach worked. We played at the beginning four-hand sonata by Mozart in D major. It has 3 movements: fast, slow, and fast. And later we played Beethoven's Adagio from the suite for mechanical clock, which was followed by the 3rd movement of the first Brandenburg Concerto by Bach. So obviously mechanical action organ would be ideal for those sort of pieces, but I really can repeat myself saying that I was surprised. Maybe the registration was done well, or the texture was elegant and not too polyphonically complex, that it worked in this amazing building with at least 8 seconds of reverberation.
Well, actually, before going there, I was afraid of acoustics. I thought, it might bother me too much. But actually, I didn't feel it so much.
You didn't feel?
Yes, and in general, the feeling I got while playing that instrument, that's very strange. The closest to me was, the feeling that I got at Eastern Michigan University at the Peace Auditorium, where we have that wonderful Aeoli and Skinner instrument. I don't know why, but the feeling was a little bit similar.
Maybe it is because of the action. But,
yes, because of the action.
But acoustics and colors are different.
Yes, true, but in somehow, felt a little bit similar, that feeling.
I'll tell you what's similar. I felt similarly in Detroit, St. Paul's Cathedral, also Anglican.
Well, I felt better in Detroit, actually.
So, you see, guys, we are so different, right? We both like mechanical action organs, but Ausra is more purist in this way. And for me, it sounded surprisingly well, this kind of program. And if I had to repeat this program, I could do it without changing anything too much, because people deserve to hear Baroque music or Mozart or Beethoven.
Yes, but luckily we haven't played any fugues. I think fugues would be disaster on that instrument.
That's true. That's part of the reason we didn't choose polyphonically complex music, because we were experienced enough to know how the pieces will interact with the amazing acoustical environment there. The texture will be lost there, I think. So yeah, later type of music, romantic and modern, would sound best, or orchestral transcriptions from earlier times would sound also well. So that's what we did. Brandenburg Concerto is an orchestral piece, and lighter texture, not so polyphonic. And classical texture from Mozart and Beethoven fits well the building too.
I think Elgar would sound the best on this instrument. Pomp and circumstances.
Obviously, yes. Everything that has not more than 3 layers of musical melodies. For example, when we played Fantasia that I created, it has a melody, it has a counter melody that second player plays, and it has accompaniment. So 3 layers, and they all interact with each other nicely and not too difficult to understand. If it was a fugue for four voices, and those 4 voices would move equally, then I think for this building it might be too complex, right? Or you would need to create some kind of performing miracle to do it justice. for it.
So what was the most interesting experience for you from this whole trip?
Now that you mention, I think that evening when we were finishing the rehearsal on Friday or Saturday. It was Saturday, yeah. Saturday night we were getting ready to go to the hotel and we couldn't find the exit.
Yes, we had to leave through the basement where the guards, are located, and we could not find that exit, so we were wandering through all those sarcophagus and, resting peace of, all saints and famous people that are buried in this magnificent cathedral. And I thought maybe we'll have just, to spend the night next to them.
Right. But somehow we after a few round trips through the cathedral, we were lucky to find a gap, an opening, and go out the right way. So to end this conversation, Ausra, I think it's time for us to say thanks to organ scholar who showed us around on Sunday, Nicholas Freestone.
Yes.
And he will be leaving the cathedral very soon, but he helped us a lot. And also James, I think James is a sub-organist there, who met us on Saturday night to introduce us to the organ. He came from Liverpool from his concert there, and we were grateful that he introduced us to this instrument, and it facilitated our practice a lot.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. This was Vidas
and Ausra.
Please send us more of your questions if you have any questions that we didn't talk about our concert trip. That would be nice to get. And we hope you will practice today, right? Because when you practice,
miracles happen.
This blog is supported by Total Organist, the most comprehensive organ training program online, where you will find courses for every area of organ playing, including technique, practice, sight reading, repertoire playing, hymn playing, improvisation, composition, music theory and harmony, with hundreds of scores and thousands of exercises. Here is what some of the students are saying.
Hugh writes, "The sight reading course has helped me tremendously. Thank you very much for your SS courses and all your help."
Robert writes, "I found the fingerings, registration ideas and general comments to be excellent."
John writes, "I have found your download very helpful. It was really excellent. I have watched some of your teaching videos, and when I read your instructions, I tried to imagine you are there teaching me. You may feel disappointed that I am 2-3 days behind, but I am a slow learner, and I have committed to taking the time to get it right, as you say. But the other night my wife commented that she had never heard me play such a detailed melody in the left hand so well. My left hand is generally poor."
Robert writes, "It has been a great pleasure in my life of having discovered your courses and material, as well as the YouTube work of recordings. You have a calm and pleasant way of teaching."
Ron writes, "Hi Vidas and Ausra, thank you guys. What a wonderful response to my email note to you. You've got me right, and I feel you understand my level of playing. Yes, at home, and lucky that I have an organ for that reason. I am paying attention to this, and I am going to try this haha no longer secret model. Yes, and I love Cesar Frank too. What is very nice about your blog podcast is that Ausra and Vidas are like a Socratic dialogue, and by bouncing things off of each other, so much more information comes out and is expressed. Your comments contain a wealth of information and understanding. I really appreciate this. It is very inspiring and will keep us moving forward.
Would you like to receive the same or even better results that our students are getting? If so, join them at organduo.lt/total-organist. And of course, you will get the first month free too. You can cancel anytime.
Also, if you haven't yet subscribed to receive free updates of this blog, make sure you do that at organduo.lt. By subscribing, you will also receive free video, how to master any organ composition, and 10-day organ playing mini course.
This was Vidas
and Ausra from Secrets of Organ Playing.
And remember, when you practice,
miracles happen.